Good morning, class. So, today's chapter is chapter 3, Discovering Toot. The saga continues. This is from the book Hornbill, okay? So, let's move on to the character sketch. The story deals with the mysteries and various theories regarding the life and death of the youngest ruler of the ancient Egypt, Tutankhamun. His tomb was discovered in 1922 by famous archaeologist Howard Carter, and since then his mummy has been subjected to a X-ray and later CT scan. These investigations have answered a lot of questions and offered a new clue on his life and death. So, discovery of Tut is the story of Tutankhamun. Okay, Tutankhamun was the youngest ruler of the ancient Egypt. His tomb was discovered in 1922. So, do you know what is mummy? Have you seen the movie Mummy? So, in ancient Egypt, the dead body of king or the emperor used to preserved, okay, by mummifying it, okay. Likewise, today's chapter we will be knowing uh, about the youngest king Tutankhamun, okay. His tomb was discovered by whom? Howard Carter. He was an archaeologist, famous archaeologist, and it was discovered in 1922. And Hogwarts, since then his mummy has been the Tutankhamun's. This is the Tutankhamun's shortened name is Tut. Okay, full name is Tutankhamun. Uh, and what it has been subjected to X-ray. It has been X-ray, CT scan to know about much more about the mummy, like how the mummy died, how he was, whether he was murdered or he was killed, or he died due to natural death, okay, like that. So these investigations have answered a lot of questions and offered new clues on his life and death, okay. So these clues have been, this investigation has opened up to a new case, okay, about his life history. So let's move on to the characters, okay, about the characters in this story. And this story is written by whom? By A.R. Williams. King Tut, the last heir of a powerful family that had ruled Egypt and his empire for centuries. His preserved body was the first to be scanned. Howard Carter, the British archaeologist who in 1922 discovered King Tut's tomb. His search caused great damage to King's preserved body. So in this story, we will come to know about the characters. Characters here are first King Tut, okay, the last heir of the powerful family of Egypt, okay, whose body was preserved at that time after he died. And next character is Howard Carter. He is an archaeologist in 1922 who discovered the body or the mummy of King Tut, but it caused a lot of damage after his discovery to his body, okay, because it has to be scanned, it has to be x-rayed, okay. Now another character we come to know is Zahi Hawass, the Secretary General of Egypt Supreme Council of Antiques. He scanned King Tut's mummy for an accurate forensic reconstruction. Another character we come to know is Amenhotep III. King Tut's father or grandfather was a powerful ruler who ruled for almost 4 decades. Another character is Amenhotep IV. He promoted the worship of Aten and changed his name to Aten Akhenaten. He outraged the country by attacking Amun, a major god, by smashing his image and closing his temple. So these are the characters, okay. So let's move on to the summary. Death of King Tut. King Tut was a teenager when he died. He was the last heir of a powerful family that ruled Egypt, and his empire was for centuries. He was buried and forgotten over years, but after the discovery of his tomb in 1922, the modern world wondered about the cause of his ultimate death. He was brought out of his tomb, and recently a CT scan was done to ascertain the reason of his death. So, death of King Tutankhamun, okay. So he was a teenager king who died, okay, and he was from a powerful Egypt family. So his tomb was his dead body was mummified, and finally in modern times in 1922 his body was discovered by archaeologist Howard Carter, okay. But due to CT scan and everything, his body was damaged a lot, okay, his dead body. So the mummy of King Tut. At 6 p.m. on 5th January 2005, the world's most famous mummy, preserved body, mummy means preserved body, was taken out from its burial tomb. As mummy of the King Tut was being put into scanner for performing a CT scan, angry winds stirred and the dark clouds covered the sky. So, there what happened when it was 6 p.m. 6 p.m. 5th January 2005, when the tomb was taken out, okay, and when it was about to scan, the weather suddenly changed, okay, the wind was stirring, okay, moving, and what happened, the dark clouds was covered the stars. There was stars, all the dark clouds came, okay. The weather had been overcast all day and night. Sky was hidden by dark bellied clouds. CT scan was being done to underneath the remaining medical mysteries that surrounded the ultimate death of this young king who died more than 3,300 years ago. So the CT scan will unfold and tell the world about the death of this king, which was buried 3,300 years ago. King Tut's tomb lies 26 feet underground in ancient Egyptian cemetery known as the Valley of Kings. So what is it known as? Valley of Kings. Underline that there King Tut's body is underground, okay. Tourists from around the world came to visit the tomb to pay their respect. They gazed at the mural of the wall of the burial chamber and looked at King Tut's glide face on the lid of his outer coffin. The visitors were curious and thoughtful. Some feared that the pharaoh's curse would befall those who disturbed him. So now it has become like a museum, okay, and now all around the world people come to visit and pay tribute to the king, okay, but they also fear that it might give them a curse, okay. So this much. Next video I'll do how Carter find and his findings, okay.